from Krishna book. We are beginning the new chapter today, chapter number 34, the gopis filling up separation. How Prabhupada was so kind, that sometime Prabhupada felt that he will be not living long enough to finish the 10 canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So in between, he produced this Krishna book. How sincerely he was thinking to give us the essence of our spiritual life. So he write in a way that the most confidential matter he present in a way that the ordinary people can also read and get free from so many attachments that we carry. So we offer our humble obeisances at the desk of Srila Prabhupada, who has been so kind to us, and all our Guru Parampara. The gopis of Vrindavan were so attached to Krishna that they were not satisfied simply with the ras dance at night. They wanted to associate with him and enjoy his company during the daytime also. When Krishna went to the forest with his cowherd boyfriends and cows, the gopis did not physically take part, but their hearts went with him. And because their hearts went, they were able to enjoy his company through strong feeling of separation. To acquire this strong feeling of separation is the teaching of Lord Chaitanya and his direct disciplic succession of Goswamis. When we are not in physical contact with Krishna, we can associate with him like the gopis through feeling of separation. Krishna's transcendental form, qualities, pastimes, and entourage are all identical with him. There are 9 different kinds of devotional service. Devotional service to Krishna in feeling of separation elevates the devotee to the highest perfectional level, to the level of the gopis. It is stated in Srinivas Acharya's prayer to the 6 Goswamis that they left the material opulences of government services and princely status of the life and went to Vrindavan. This Rupa Sanatan, all this, they were in present time, they were multi-billionaires, but they give up everything. When they lived just like ordinary mendicants, begging from door to door, but they were so much enriched with the gopis' feeling of separation that they enjoyed transcendental pleasure at every moment. So this is the beauty, that external we may feel, oh, this devotee is suffering, but internally they are realizing every moment of their life. Similarly, when Lord Chaitanya was at Jagannath Puri, he was in the role of Radharani, feeling the separation of Krishna. Those who are in the disciplic succession of the Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya should also feel the separation of Krishna. Worship his transcendental form and discuss his transcendental teachings, his pastimes, his qualities, his entourage, and his associations. The spiritual master should enrich the devotee to the highest devotional perfection. Feeling of separation is the essence of devotional service. Devotees, then when they who really remain active while their spiritual master is on this planet. But as soon as the spiritual master leaves, they also reduce their devotion. But that's not the way it should be. It should increase our devotion in their absence. That's the glory of our devotional service. The gopis used to discuss Krishnas among themselves, and their talks were as follows. My dear friends, one gopi said, do you know that when Krishna lies on the ground, he rests on his left elbow and his head rests on his left hand? He moves his attractive eyebrows. How wonderfully they are remembering that every motion of Krishna. This is what is required if he wants to remember Krishna throughout the day. In detail, we should remember some pastimes. Haribo. His attractive eyebrows while playing with his flute, with his delicate fingers, and sound he produces creates such a nice atmosphere that the denizens of the heavenly planet who travel in the space with their wives and beloved stop their airplanes, for they are stunned by the vibration of the flute. The wives of the demigods who are seated in the plains then become very much ashamed of their singing and musical qualifications. Not only that, but they become afflicted with conjugal love, and their hair and tightened dresses immediately loosen. Haribo. Another gopi said, my dear friends, Krishna is so beautiful that the goddess of fortune always remains on his chest. And he is always adorned with a golden necklace. Beautiful Krishna plays his flute in order to enliven the hearts of many devotees. He is the only friend of all suffering loving entity. What a good sentence. When we will realize this, he is the only friend. There is no second. When he plays his flute, all the cows and other animals of Vrindavan, although engaged in eating, simply take a morsel of food in their mouths and stop chewing. They become stunned. Their ears raise up and they become stunned. You know, we have a wonderful cows on the altar of Sisi Radhanila Madhava. And if you see the ear of the cow, they are so straight, always hearing the Krishna's flute. There we go. They do not appear alive, but like a painted animals. Krishna's flute playing is so attractive that even the animals become enchanted, and what to speak of ourselves. One by one, another gopi says, my dear friend, not only living animals, but even inanimate objects like the rivers and lakes of Vrindavan also become stunned when Krishna passes with peacock feathers on his head and his body smeared with the minerals of Vrindavan. With leaves and flowers decorating his body, he looks like some hero. When he plays on his flute and calls the cow with Balram, the river Yamuna stops flowing and wait for the air to carry dust from his lotus feet. The river Yamuna is unfortunate like us. It does not get Krishna's mercy. The river simply remains stunned, stopping its waves just as we also stop crying out of frustration for Krishna. Hope that we have the tear in our eyes. In the absence of Krishna, the gopis were constantly shedding tears. But sometime, when they expected that Krishna was coming, they would stop crying. But when they saw that Krishna was not coming, then again they would become frustrated and begin to cry. Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, the origin of all Vishnu forms, and the cowherd boys are all demigods. Lord Vishnu is always worshipped and surrounded by different demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Indra, Chandra, and others. When Krishna traveled throughout the Vrindavan forest or walked on the Govardhan hill, there are nice picture has been provided. Akrura saw Balram turn into Sesanag and Krishna turned into Mahavishnu. Haribol. The next one is, Oh dear Damodar, dear Madhav. This is when Akrura is taking his chariot toward the Mathura and the gopis were ready to give their life. Fell on the ground unconscious. And the audience was not very satisfied because the wrestlers did not appear to be equally matched with the Krishna and Balram, Mustika and Chanura, I think. Haribol. Simply from the stroke of his fist, Kamsa lost his vital force. Wonderful scene with the Singhasan of the Kamsa. And so many devotees has the different feelings seeing this killing of Kamsa. And the floor is back from the Lord that he might remain his eternal servant. When they visit the Mathura, these wonderful pastimes. First they approach the washerman, remember? And they ask, washerman, give us some cloths. And washerman was attached to Prince Kamsa, so much so that he refused to serve. So association is so important from the story because the washerman was associating with Kamsa, who was envious to Krishna. So if we are also associating with those person who has no interest in Krishna consciousness, it will affect our devotion, believe it or not. It's just a matter of time. So we should always keep the association of the devotees around us. That's our protection. So Krishna was passing through the Govardhan hill, this gopi is describing, and he was accompanied by the cowherd boys. While walking, he played his flute just to call his cows. Just by his association, the trees, plants, and other vegetation in the forest immediately become Krishna conscious. So when you do the gardening, please chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra so they can feel also enlivened. A Krishna conscious person sacrifices everything for Krishna. Haribol. Although trees and plants are not very advanced in consciousness, by the association of Krishna and his friends, they also become Krishna conscious. They then want to deliver everything, whatever they have, their fruits, flowers, and the honey, incessantly falling from the branches. I do the gardening, that's my hobby. And I posted some of the picture, but not on our group. But I have that one rose plant, and it has one flower most of them was beige, and on the corner, on the edge of these petals was dark pink. The other flower on the same plant has dark pink prominent with little beige on it. And I posted, and Ramapan Maharaj also, right? Yes, this is, I said, Maharaj, this is the God creation. Who can create this? And Maharaj said, yes. And luckily, yesterday when I went there, luckily that same plant has given me another rose. So I give it to Maharaj. When Maharaj looked at it, he recognized that Krishna is so beautiful. And that's true. If you take care of the plant so nicely, they will give you very beautiful flowers, everything nicely. You touch even those plants and you feel like, they are really happy. Today also there is a Trupa Polkar also has joined. Trupa Polkar. I have to write down her name. Welcome. Krishna is so kind to give me the glance on the screen to recognize her. Other Gopi says when Krishna walked on the bank of the Yamuna, he was seen nicely decorated with tilak on his head. He was garlanded with different kinds of forest flowers, and his body was smeared by the pulp of sandalwood and tulsi leaves. Radhanath Swami Maharaj also, I sent the flower to Maharaj, picture that please accept these flowers, and Maharaj was kindly so happy, he responded right away by having the emoji of offering the two hands together. They are so nice actually, this elevated personality. We should always seek their association. If we cannot get physical association, we should think about them. We should hear their classes, hear their Vani is so wonderful. And they are always there to give us everything what we need to advance in our spiritual life. So the bumblebees became mad after the treasure and sweet nectar of the atmosphere. Haribo. I have some plant, I Google it to invite the bumblebee. First I got it some plant, purple colored flowers, and the light pink, dark pink, I have those plants. And so many bumblebees move around, and first I was so much afraid because they make the noise and their body is thick and big. But they are so sweet. Then I use two of them now because I work with the plants and they are just humming around it, making a lot of humming noise, but they never harm you. They are so sweet. Similarly, what I always keep on forgetting the name is humblebee and bumblebee, and we used to say patangya in Gujarati. That's what is that in English? This it's fly with that.
Butterfly, patangi butterfly.
Butterflies. Yes, I have so many pictures in my garden. Beautiful, beautiful colors. Sometime I watch on my garden pictures and I realize this is Vrindavan, actually. Krishna would play his flute, and together the sound becomes so sweet to hear that the aquatics, the cranes, swans, and ducks, and other birds were charmed. Instead of swimming or flying, they become stunned. They closed their eyes and entered a trance of meditation in worship of Krishna. How much love they must have. Other Gopi described, my dear friend, Krishna and Balaram are nicely dressed with earring and pearl necklaces. They enjoy themselves on the top of the Govardhan hill, and everything becomes absorbed in transcendental pleasure when Krishna plays on his flute, charming the whole created manifestation. And when he plays, the clouds stop their loud thundering out of fear of him. Rather than disturb the vibration of his flute, they respond with mild thunder and so congratulate Krishna and their friends. Everybody reciprocates with Krishna. This is what the gopi is trying to picture us. Not a single thing where Krishna is not present. So how can we forget? Even in the stone, Krishna is there. Krishna is accepted as the friend of the cloud because both the cloud and Krishna satisfy the people when they are disturbed. So when we are disturbed about anything, we should take shelter of Krishna and all anxiety, disturbance will go away. Also nice to see Rupsi from Katie. I have been sending her the message that Rupsi, please join. She's so kind. She's joining now. When the people are burning due to excessive heat, the clouds satisfy them with rain. Similarly, when people in materialistic life becomes disturbed by the blazing fire of material pangs, Krishna gives them relief. The cloud and Krishna having the same bodily color also are considered to be the friends. What a nice analogy to remember. Desiring to congratulate its superior friend, the cloud poured not water, but small flowers and covered the head of Krishna to protect him from the scorching sunshine. Haribol. We should remember this, and then just repeat and see. Then we will become absorbed. One of the gopi told another, Mother Yasoda, my dear mother, your son is very expert among the cowherd boys. He knows all the different arts. This is what, my spiritual master wrote me to my son about me, not to take any credit or anything. It's by his mercy. But he said that look at your father. If you become expert in one thing, you can become expert in everything. And then he quoted me, that look at your father, he's expert in everything. I don't think I'm expert in anything, but that is mercy. He composes his own song, and to sing them, he puts his flute to his mouth. When he plays, either in the morning or in the evening, all the demigods like Lord Shiva, Brahma, Indra, and Chandra bow their heads and listen with great attention. Haribol. Although they are very learned and expert, they cannot understand the musical arrangement of Krishna's flute. They simply listen attentively and try to understand, but become bewildered and nothing more. It's so nice to play the instrument, musical instruments, It should be a part of our devotional life. I really relish playing harmonium. Before that, I used to play on all home program for 10, 15 years. I have to sing, So I created so many tunes. And now so many wonderful devotees are chanting much better than myself. So I don't chant that much. I don't lead. So I forgot all my tunes. Sometimes some devotee has recorded my singing. And when I listen, I don't know now to play those tunes. So constant practice is required. It teaches. I'm not expert like, some people will listen, somebody singing, they can play, but I'm not like that. I have to practice and I know the keys, how to go each song. But one time, by Krishna's mercy, I was teaching Mother Guru Bhakti also, the harmonium. And then I feel so inspired that I start learning all the Vaishnava song from the Vaishnava book. And I made that book like a sa, ga, ma, whatever that these song lines are. And I will also put for the reference that when you press this key, you are vibrating these words on the top, like a Hare Krishna. Then how, which key represent Hare, which key represent Krishna, like that. So I work so hard, but that book is with me, but I forgot. Now I'm learning some new tunes, so I will be observing, but it's very difficult to find the time. I don't know what to do. So another Gopi says, my dear friend, when Krishna returns home with his cows and footprints of the sole of his feet with flag, thunderbolt, trident, and lotus flower, relieves the pain of the earth feel when the cow travels it. He walks in a stride which is so attractive, and he carries his flute. Just by looking at him, we become lusty to enjoy his company. And at that time, our movement cease. We become just like trees and stand perfectly still. We even forget what we look like. What a wonderful. And I think we should be punctual. We should be finishing because today I was planning to attend the Bhagavatam class, but I have to attend some phone calls. So I will be missing Maharaj class, but I have, as we already announced it, we will close. So I told the persons that we can speak at 7:15 a.m. So thank you very much. Enjoy this Krishna's book, it's so nice. All these mothers should read that rather than reading the teller story. They should read Krishna book to their children. Hearing these books, the intelligence of the children will grow tremendously, believe me. You just look at this, the Gopal Hari Prabhu and his brother, what his name, that Murari Gupta, that he used to write. His spiritual name, I forgot, it didn't come on my mind. But look at that, they just did the homeschooling. But because they were learning from the childhood, the Krishna's all detailed work, they became so nice. Even with the homeschooling, they become PhD from Oxford University. Now they are professors. So why don't we give our children, which is really, really important, train them nicely, go to the bed early, let them wake up early in the morning, give them some nice thing in their life. So when we will not be here in the future, they will be able to resist those, demands of the bodies and attractions to this material thing. And then they will suffer. Whenever we miss, we don't serve Krishna, we don't remember Krishna, we don't perform our sadhana, that's what it happened in our life, that we will suffer like anything. Like a burning rod will be put through our mouth. And still we feel that there is enjoyment in this material world. That's the beauty of Krishna's energy. Every energy, Krishna is so wonderful. They perform so nicely. Maya Devi will say, okay, Prabhu, yesterday you work really hard. You deserve little sleep. That's all the thought is need. And that's it. Prabhuji will take a very nice one sleep nap. Wonderful. So it's 6:56. Thank you very much. And I would like to offer my humble obeisances at the desk of these wonderful Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis who took so much austerity to join every morning from Connecticut, New Hampshire, Aurora, Illinois, New York, New Jersey, Virginia, Boston, Boise, Atlanta, Tempe, Phoenix, Austin, College Station, San Jose, Portland, Dallas, Detroit, Chicago, Naperville, Philadelphia, Charlotte, Baltimore, Baton Rouge, Alachua, Orlando, Jacksonville, Ohio, St. Louis, Loganville, Georgia, San Diego, Calcutta, New Delhi, Toronto, Alaska, and today from the Bangladesh also join. Ottawa, New Orleans, Maine, Laguna Beach, California, and Vancouver. Vanchakalpatarubhasya kripa sindhu bhaya Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you very much for joining, and hope and pray that our days goes nicely remembering Krishna's and his activity. That's what Gopi does. When they don't have the association of Krishna, they will just remember. So I think when we spend the time with our spiritual master, I always tell that keep a diary with you, and whatever they transpire, whenever you got the chance to associate with your spiritual master, write it down. Whatever it happened, it's always transcendental. Write a note, and I guarantee you, you will relish it in the future, so much so. So when we not with our spiritual master, we can remember how you were serving, what your spiritual master was telling you, praising you, whatever chastising you, and you can have his association. So keep those notes. And, that's I missed it. That's why I always say that, because I spent so much time with my spiritual master, but I didn't make the note. So but I don't want to see that happen to you all. So please do this diligence a little. Write down everything. And particularly when you take the initiation that day, everybody should write their emotions churning in that heart. What was the feeling was going on when the day we took initiation? We were so inspired that the whole world we will take over in a few days. That enthusiasm was there. And when you read those words, you will be surprised. Where are those words now? Where is those activity and feelings in our heart even? Then we will realize that actually, we have not made any advancement. Spiritual master is always there to help us. We need to keep their lotus feet in front of us and their activities and follow in their footsteps. Why they live and why they take austerities, Like Ramapat Swami Maharaj, he will come at 10 o'clock at night. That doesn't mean he will not give Bhagavatam class. He will be there in the morning. And if you arrange 4 program, I have seen Maharaj, he will attend 4 program. He never say no. And how they function, their whole thing, not only just preaching, but their sadhana and all that. How they do this thing? Haribol.